Whispers call across the floor. Footsteps echo, then no more. Cold hands reach where light won't stay, calling you to come and play. Dancing shadows spinning fast, fear and laughter they will clash. Beat of terror, pulse of night. Darkness sings but feels alive. Eyes that follow from the wall. Silent voices start to call. Heartbeat racing with the drums. You can run, but still they come. Dancing shadows spinning fast. Fear and laughter, they will clash. Beat of terror, pulse of night. Darkness sings but feels alive. Eyes that follow from the wall. Silent voices start to call. Heartbeat racing with the drums. You can run, but still they come.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Night Terrors and Other Tales. Chris,
yes, well, I'm fine. I'm great. I've been on a campaign today of cable tying.
Wow.
Do you like my shininess? It's shiny.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's color coded now. You know,
Men and their toys. I'm telling you.
It's like come on, I can change this to any color I want. I've got a soundboard, but I'll keep that for another time because I was annoying Sabrina the other day. Was it yesterday with all the different voices?
Oh,
Quite
yeah.
creepy ones, may I add. But honestly, we've got a special show today planned, guys, and I'm going to hand you over to Sabrina because this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. So as you can see, tonight's guest is Laura Cross, and she walks the line between discipline and intuition, science and soul. Laura is an Air Force veteran. She's turned wellness guide, but what makes her story really remarkable isn't just the journey from uniform to healer, it's what she's learned along the way. She's the founder of White Sands Self-Care, and she helps people detoxify their lives physically, emotionally, and energetically. She uses a really rare tool that's called the AO voice scan, which is a technology that listens to your voice and it reflects back what your body might be hiding. So it's really interesting. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome to Laura Cross.
Thank you for having me here.
That intrigues me. That new toy. You never told me about that toy, Sabrina. Is that something that I can get? Does it light up?
Well, it makes all kinds of wonderful sounds and sends frequencies and healing, and I do it over Zoom, so I can work with. I have done the voice scan for people in Italy, in New Zealand, Australia, Germany, England, you name it. It goes. You can't block frequency. You cannot block frequency and vibration.
Right.
So how does it actually work? Because I'm fascinated by this because I love technology.
Yeah. Well, are you familiar with Rife frequencies?
Yes.
Okay, so it takes Rife frequencies,
Right.
Nikola Tesla's technology, and Einstein's technology, and it's all
Mhm.
together. And it used to be a device, but now it's actually an app that you can open up on your phone or the computer, that you pay for to do. But every time we speak, you have thousands of frequencies that are coming out your voice. And so what it does, and it only takes 10 seconds of your voice, and it will light you up just like your check engine light does on your car.
Yeah.
And it finds your 3 highest, it finds your 1 lowest, it creates audio files to bring you back into balance. So to bring those 3 down and the 1 up. So it'll create you 4 audio files. It goes over the chakras. It goes over the meridians. It'll tell me what foods are causing inflammation or dysfunction in your body. It can tell me if you're maybe up on the verge of being pre-diabetic. Do you have more bad cholesterol than good cholesterol? It'll give me MRI-like images. This is not, and just to be clear, it's not a medical tool.
Yeah.
It is just a tool to help you diagnose the root cause. Because I don't know about your system over there, but I know our system, I call it a sick care system. They throw drugs at you and they just try to patch up a symptom. but they
Yeah.
don't look at what caused that symptom in the first
Yes.
place.
If
And
if you hooked me up to it, it would probably explode, because that's what they do over here, the NHS. They just throw medication at you.
it is
Yeah.
amazing. Some people will really light up with a whole ton of stuff. Other people they'll barely have some, but there's always emotions and stuff that are stuck in there. So there's another report that we go over, and people think it takes forever. It's like, no, it's 10 seconds. Within 7 minutes, as it's optimizing you, less than 7 minutes, I will have the full report. I go over the report with them right there on the
Yeah.
call. It's nothing they have to wait for, but it will go into what emotions are trapped. Where are you on a pendulum, like between love and unconditional love? Are you somewhere in that pendulum? And it'll tell you what emotions that it's picking up that is causing the issues. It shows you what parts of your body those emotions are affecting, what colors can balance you, because colors have vibration and energy also. So, and it's funny with a lot of the guys and some of the other people, like even my fiance, when you get on there and you ask him, what are your favorite colors? His first thing is black. I'm like, no, black do not count as a color. We're talking rainbow colors, because for him, everything's black. Well, it's black and silver. He's a Raiders fan, so everything's black and silver. I'm like, no, not a color. I need colors of the rainbow.
So, wow, that is incredible. What led you to making this device?
Well, I didn't make the device. It's done by another company. SolX LLC has this device, and it's just another one of the technologies are out there. As you guys know, or Sabrina knows, because she's been on, I host Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross TV show. And so, because for me, everything's about, education resources, connecting people and collaborating. Well, a year ago, I had a Dr. Grant on my show, and he had offered to do this scan for me and my fiance. And I will tell you, I was just blown away, by this thing, because it showed you a picture of my skull and it pointed to my jaw. And he asks me, he says, have you been told you grind your teeth at night? And I said, yes. Because you're a night guard. I said, no, they suggest. He goes, so you like eating your teeth? And I'm like, no, but because of stress and tense, I lock it up, and it knew exactly. And it pointed right to the spot on my jaw where I had that problem. Now it's gone now, because I've been able to correct my lifestyle and eating and stuff changes and stuff. But I was just really blown away by the emotions, how it was dead on. And I've learned that it's 98% more accurate than blood work. And, who wouldn't want to try to experience something like that rather than be stuck with a needle and being invaded by chemicals or whatever else? It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have seen the pricing and things for this as well. And just to let everybody know, it's extremely reasonable. I mean, you get 5 voice samples, I think?
Oh, no, you get 5 full reports, and it's literally hundreds of pages, 4 audio files. So, and plus we take the time, or I take the time to go over them with people. That's why I set the appointment for 45 minutes. And sometimes I go to an hour, a little bit over, because I want people to be comfortable and let them know how they can, interpret it. Or use it and it's meant to use as a guide, right? It's not the end all be all. It's not to stress you out or make you worry and say, oh my God, I thought I was healthy, but look at this. No, it's just letting you know. And it's amazing, because a lot of things that light up on people is if they would just do a simple thing like deep belly breaths, they could fix a lot of their problems.
See, I find this fascinating, because I suffer from a certain neurological condition. Sabrina knows it. Sabrina, you can pronounce it better than I can. What's it called? Is it trans? Oh God, here we go.
Trigeminal neuralgia.
Yeah, and I get it in my face, and it's really intense pain. It's worse than like TGA, TGM, and it's intense shooting pain. And the doctors have just gave me loads of different concoctions just to see what would happen. And it makes me wonder if that would be able to actually point to see if that's actually what that is. And,
If not, it will definitely indicate what is the root cause. And, because what they don't realize is everything is connected. I don't know about you guys, but the doctors in the U.S. love them to death, but they are specialized, and they're specialized in this area or that area. So one doesn't necessarily pay attention to what's doing this is causing an effect over here or over there. So you really need, I would recommend a naturopath or a lifestyle or integrative medicine or functional medicine doctor, one that knows the whole body and how everything is connected and what can be done to help interpret it and to keep it further.
I definitely think that's a better way, because the pharmaceutical way is, I mean, if you think about it, you think about the prices of pharmaceutical drugs, especially in the United States, where like a pill that can help with cancer costs like $500 a pop. It costs
Mhm.
like 5 cents to make. Whereas if you could get this done, it's going to show you things what actually might be causing the problem.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, but, as someone that had spent a lot of time on pretty much every painkiller, muscle relaxer they could throw at me, or spinal injections, and it never did anything. It never solved anything. It barely dulled the pain sometime until that
Yeah.
wore off, and then, "Oh, let's put you on a new one."
Yes.
And it wasn't until after my husband died that I realized the side effects of all of that, and then I started learning about massage therapy, chiropractor,
Yes.
all the more natural things you could do. And if you listen to your body when you're eating like certain foods or doing certain things, your body's
Yeah.
kind of telling you it don't like it. I don't care how much you think it tastes good. If your body's got certain reactions to it, then it really doesn't want it. You just have
Right.
to learn to listen to it, and you change. And if you make those changes, that stuff goes away. The pain goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually noticed, because I've actually cut my sugar out. I've not had a can of soda for 4 months now. And it's
Nice.
amazing the difference it makes. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I suggested a little birdie was in his ear to drink more water and
I
less
drink tea.
sodas.
I don't put sugar in it or anything like that. I just
Tea
drink
and
tea.
herbal tea is not bad, or teas aren't bad. It's just you have
There's
to
black tea.
watch if they're loaded with caffeine and a ton of
Yeah.
other
Yes.
stuff, then it's not that healthy. But
Yeah.
she's right. Water, because we're just like the earth. Over 75% of us is water. It's what you need
Yes.
for your cells, your veins, your arteries. It's what you need for everything to function and flow.
Mhm.
And you have to sip it. Don't gulp it. If you gulp it, you're just going to be running to the bathroom, and you're going to be
Yeah,
spitting
right.
it out every
Uh,
20 minutes.
When I first was like that, when Sabrina's like that, drink more water. I no Paul, we'll take the cap off. Throw that away. What is it? I was buying these big massive packs of filtered water. I was going through 24 a week.
The only time that works for me is if it's 100 and something degrees out here and I've already been sweating to death, because it's just it just my body just like soaks it all up. It's got nowhere to go. But yeah, if you do that on a regular basis and then people want to know why they're running to the bathroom all the time,
Yeah.
it's like because you didn't take time. You have to sip and let it absorb into your body.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just flushing through
In
and
and
flushing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've walked a very unique path. Can we back up just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because you were in the Air Force and now you're in holistic health. So what was the turning point that really pushed you towards healing?
Death of my husband, actually.
Mm.
Yeah. We're what week? It's 8 days away. So in 8 days, it'll be 21 years since my husband died. He was 36. We were
So
laughing at
sorry.
lunch, and he was
Sorry.
dead by 10 o'clock that night. And he was a year and a half away from retiring from the Air Force. Because we were both military at the time, even though I separated after we got out, we never truly had a honeymoon because Desert Storm almost canceled our wedding. So it was kind of like go get married and then hurry up and go back. And, so we never even really ever had a honeymoon. We always thought we'd have later when he was done and back. And that's a rude awakening. I had just turned 37, and then he died 4 days before Christmas, 2 weeks later after my birthday. So, and we had just put one of our dogs to sleep. And then the following month, it was just it was kind of like nonstop. Within 14 months after my husband died, I had been to 3 different funerals, 4 different hospitals, and I had had enough.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, you get to the point where it's like, okay, I should not be able to navigate hospitals so well. It's not something, I wanted to put in my list of skills that I can find my way around any hospital. But yeah, that was kind of my turning point. I got slapped in the face with reality, and took a long time to get over that. My first realization after about a year was that I did not want to answer to anybody else to work for.
Yeah.
I had people saying, "Oh, is it now?" Or I don't know if I want to be friends with you. Everybody around you dies. I mean, people will say like the strangest things to you, and they don't think about what they're saying. But, still, I'm just like, I was always the dependable one, the one that always showed up. And it's like, you started having a snowstorm and it's like, nope, I'm going to call out just like everybody else. I know I could get there in my truck, but I'm just not going to do it. There's just more important things in life. So it really changed my perspective. of everything. And so that's when I started going into being in business for myself, which the first thing I did was travel. So, and I still am a travel agent. I still love travel. I think it's a very important part of your holistic health, but
That's amazing. So, wait a second here. We have holistic health and then we have a travel agency. Any
I
more
didn't even
businesses we should know about?
I technically run 10, but
Oh my God.
they are all within the holistic. Well, they always say, so that's one thing I learned as an entrepreneur. You should diversify. You should have at least 7 streams of income. Now, my travel
Wow.
business has like 3 streams of income, has multiple streams, but when you have things like COVID that comes along and it scares the snot out of everybody for
Yeah.
traveling, it takes a hit. But see, that was a time where it was kind of more of a wake up call for me. And I started to realize that the reason I wanted people to travel was because I wanted people to take better care of themselves. I don't know about
really.
yeah, I don't know about Europe's rates, but I know our rates were horrible. I mean, over 80 something percent of the people never even take their vacation days, and they don't even use them. They do nothing but work. So people are getting caught up in a rat race. And I don't care if you're military, entrepreneur, white collar, blue collar, you are caught up in one rat race or another. And people stop taking care of themselves. They stop taking vacations, and you need that time to reset, you know?
Oh, I completely agree.
So that's how it morphed to White Sands, from White Sands Premier Travel, and added on. I shouldn't say, because White Sands Premier Travel still exists. I am still a travel agent, but that's where White Sands Self Care was born. And so then everything else that I pick up and do, they're all just, I call them just different tools in my toolbox. It's all aligned with holistic health. What works for me may not work for somebody else, but that doesn't mean I may not have something else that might work for them, or I can connect them to somebody that can help them.
So, so during the time that you experienced the loss of your husband and then the loss of your dog and all of these things going on, what would you say is the one piece of advice that you would give somebody that is going through something similar that would help them to start discovering, what is out there, and to make them to see things a little bit differently? Because I think it could have been a really easy line for you to get stuck in a depression, but you didn't let that happen.
No, and it did take me a long time. I was always the caregiver, taking care of people, fix people kind of person. Even when I was married, my dogs, my husband, all that came first. If we didn't have funds, I was last. I had always put myself last. The one thing I did learn after all of this is you don't ever put yourself last. Yourself should come first, especially if you're trying to help others and take care of them, because you cannot keep pouring yourself out and going. And then you burn out, and you're not good to yourself. You're not good to anybody. And as much as you might want to try and put up a smile, if it's not good in here, people pick up on that. Because again, vibration, frequency, some people are very in tune to it and know something's off. I don't care how much you're trying to smile through it. But it took some time. And of course, first I tried to run around and, oh my God, fix everybody, because I didn't want to lose anybody else. My mother-in-law at the time had a horrible smoking thing. I kept getting on her about trying to stop smoking, or this one did this. You can't do that. I will tell you right now, you can't do that. You will drive a lot of people away. It doesn't matter how much you know or how much you can help somebody. They have to want help, and they have to be open to it, and they have to be in that space. Yeah. Otherwise, I have learned you just have to be there for them, listen to them, and support them. If they choose to do that, that is their choice, and that's the way they're going to go with their life, and that's on them. It's not on you. And it took me, I've only gotten to that point about 5-6 years ago. It took me a lot, because I always just kept wanting to, and I just learned to just, nope. Okay. Let me know. You want something? I'm here for you. I'll help, and yeah, a lot of people judge or are kind of judgy, or they try to help because they want to fix you.
Yeah.
My family, God bless them, they were all there, making sure that I wasn't falling apart or doing this and that, but it was also draining them, but what they didn't understand is every time they're on the phone saying, hey, love you too, see you later. I didn't have that anymore. So that made it very difficult for me to be around, and then when they had things to say, they wanted to, they felt they know who you are, and they want to, try and help fix you. But, if I didn't even know truly who I was at the time, which I would say right now that I did not, I knew parts of my traits, but deep down, I didn't really discover that until I moved here to Missouri like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of been a whole new opening and awakening of things. But it is why I went ahead and saw a psychiatrist that they offered to, but I only saw him 5 out of the 6 times because he kept wanting me to write a letter to my husband to say goodbye. And I wasn't ready to do that, and I wasn't going to do that. But I did like the fact that I had someone to talk to that didn't know me from Adam.
Yeah.
Who didn't have any preconceived notions or thought that they knew what I wanted or what I wanted to do, because that just isn't helpful.
Yeah,
So,
I understand that.
As
Yeah,
much as
I
people
understand.
try to support you, one of my biggest advices would be to just take some time by yourself
Yes.
and find out who you are inside and find out what really lights you up.
Oh,
Mhm.
I love
And then when you do, take it by the horns and run with it.
Yeah.
If you
I
have
agree
to
with
do
you.
it as a plan B until your gig grows, great. But, I wouldn't recommend people just go quit their job unless they're
Right.
able to do it, but start
Yeah.
a plan B, but then go with it and don't let anyone tell you that you can't.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And it's interesting because it's just coming up to 2 years since I lost my mum, and I was in a bad way. I was in a really bad way, and I was like, "Oh, I just can't be arsed with life anymore. I just don't want to do it anymore." And then I started doing my readings, my tarot readings and things like that, and
Mhm.
I don't know, when I'm helping people, it seems to make me feel better. And then I met Sabrina, and Sabrina's really helped me. Sabrina's actually saved me, I would say.
Yeah.
And now everything's totally different. And it's exactly what I'm doing. I'm running with it. I'm doing exactly what you say. I'm running with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I still love people that may not understand it, and family kind of comes around, or they'll smile and be supportive. Not everybody's going to understand what we do, and a lot of people call what we do the woo-woo world,
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever else they want to call it. Um, it depends on what generation you grew up in. A lot of them still don't understand online TV shows or podcasts,
Yeah.
or how do you make money at that? Or it's like I know I grew up in the generation where you go to school, you go to get a degree, and you go work for somebody.
Yeah.
But there's more to life than that. And, when you're doing what I think you were meant to do and you're lit up, then that's truly living life, not just doing something just because you need to make ends meet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I so agree with you there. We have that's the one thing that Laura and I think we discovered is that we had a lot of the same kind of understandings about, not living to work, but working to live, so that you're earning and actually spending your time with family and doing things that you love and taking that time,
Yeah.
which is beautiful.
Thank you.
So have you worked with any individuals who experienced, maybe got your AO voice scan and then experienced disturbing dreams or anything like that?
No one has told me about disturbing dreams after having it. I know I've had my own version of what I find disturbing dreams, especially after my husband, passed away. And who knows, they may wind up popping up now because they went away for a long time. But if I discuss them or talk about him a lot, it seems to
Trigger
come back up all these really vivid dreams. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
why? And they'll pop up. I haven't heard of anyone, necessarily having that, or they haven't told me that part. Normally when people come to me about the AO scan, it's because they know they feel something is off and it's not right. Or maybe doctors are telling them it's fine, but that's not what they're looking for. They know something is off. And so we figure out what's going off. And we're normally talking about either diets or lifestyle, having those quiet moments, not packing your schedule in back to back, having those things to reset, different, simple, easy techniques of things that they can adjust and do themselves to, make themselves feel better. But I do know I have had a lot of intuitives and stuff on the show, mediums, and I have had sessions with a couple of them. And I have friends, that have as a matter of fact, my friend, when she came here to visit, she came in one night and she told me, or she came in and told me the next day, she took her dog out in the middle of the night and saw a lady dressed in, she can see dead people and talk to them, but there was a lady like in the old fashioned like the old dresses and stuff or whatever. Anyway, she apparently had a conversation with my friend telling her about how her husband had killed her and stuff. And this is like out of my yard, of my property. I'm like, okay, I don't see that. I think maybe that might be a good thing, but she's sees them and has conversations with them. So I do know people who do that and can do that. So.
See, I was just curious because sometimes when people find out something about their body or their mind or anything that can be health, anything, my goodness, I can't speak today, anything pertaining to health, they have weird dreams after, or they'll just put themselves into an anxiety and a panic about some of the negative things that may be there. And I've just seen people have those nightmares, or
they haven't come back and shared that with me. I do know some people that they showed up for the scan because they got so anxious about, oh my God, what is this going to show me? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to do that, I'll tell you right now, the scan's going to pick up on that anxiety. It's in your vibration and it's in your frequency. So it's going to pick up on that. So, but yeah, I haven't had any of them report to me afterwards that they have, but I don't know. That would be almost interesting now to start asking them just to find out.
I'm also kind of curious. Do certain emotional or spiritual blocks actually show up consistently in people's voices?
Most of the times it's emotional. It can be, some of it can be lack of or fear of intimacy, money conflicts. It can be grief, anger, anxiety, depression. Yeah. A lot of your I won't say general, but it's kind of there. But normally when you see people like, okay, that makes sense. They may not want to go into it, and that's okay. But they would tell you how accurate the scan is because it really resonated with, and it made sense as to what's causing the issues.
Yeah. So, wow.
It's fascinating that, because I know in the mediumship world, because it's Sabrina and me, we are obviously, we speak to the beyond, as I say. And it's interesting because it makes me wonder, how many mediums have you how many mediums have you helped with us? Out of curiosity. Have you helped any mediums?
I have not done an AO scan on any of them. Well, no, I shouldn't say it back. Trying to remember. Sometimes it gets a little jumbled as to whether I did the scan or I had them on the show, because I know I've had them on my show, but not all of them have done the scan. But I know I've had a lot of intuitives on there, or energy healers, and it makes sense to them because they could feel it with the energy in their body, and so it really helps bring it into focus as to where they need to focus or concentrate on because of the energy work and stuff that they do.
Yeah.
I will definitely be paying more attention to that now, though. That would be curious.
Because the reason I say that is because when I do my mediumship and stuff, I find if I listen to certain tones, it opens doorways for me.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder what would happen if you did that to me, because it makes me wonder if I experience anything, because I do get tones. You hear like a weird noise in your head when they arrive, as one would say, like my guide right now. But it's like, it makes you wonder what you would detect and what you would see on your device.
I tell you what, you set up a time with me and I'll do it complimentary for you, and we'll find out. Because I'd be curious to find out.
Right. Yeah, we'd do that. Yeah, because it's interesting, because I'm a big believer in frequency. There's some frequency was used, and I'm a big believer in ancient. I'm a believer in aliens. I'm a believer in, what do you call it? Like, you can heal people with frequency.
Oh, and the tool does so much more than that. See, that's just the part that I use for people and stuff. But it has the ability. I can create custom playlists for affirmations, chakras, for symptoms, for everything, and I can create my own playlists, and I can imprint it on things, or I can play it. As a matter of fact, I play it for my dog because I can actually scan dogs, cats. I can scan.
That's what I was just.
I can scan them with it too, and it'll show you the dog, and it'll show you what's going on, because there's only one dog with that name, date of birth, weight, everything. It knows its target, and it can tell you what's going on. And so I've created a playlist for my service dog, because they say he's got a low grade 2 cancer that we feel is mostly removed, but then he also has high anxieties if I go somewhere without him, because he's been trained to be with me 24/7. So he does not like being separated from me.
Wow. So how does it work on the animals?
So you put in their name, their weight, their breed, you type in all the information. You can have the ID tags from the company. They do have ID tags, but you don't have to do that. But when you know their date of birth, their weight and everything, it knows the target. So once you've scanned the owner, you add in their pet and you scan it.
Mm.
And it'll show you the dog, and it'll come up. It'll show you what livers or what foods the dog's not liking, what's the foods that the dog doesn't like, what's in their system, what's going on. Are they? And the one showed up because the vet even said his liver values were a little bit elevated, and it showed in the scan.
That is
So-
incredible.
That's
You're
incredible.
going to have 2 new orders with me and my dog.
I've actually, I mean, what's the biggest animal you used it on? Because I've got a friend, she's also a medium, but she also keeps horses. And she's got a friend that's an animal medium that looks after her horses and stuff like that. Have you ever tried it on a horse? Because we all
I
know
have
that horses.
not tried it on a horse, just dogs. And my pup is 76 pounds. He used to be like 90, but he's 76 pounds. He's black lab, German Shepherd, Husky mix. So he's a good sized pup. But
That would be
again,
interesting.
they don't have to be right here either.
No.
There's only one of you that's been born, date, has all that information, and it knows its target.
Yeah. I think that'd be fascinating. See, some race horses, some horses and that get problems and the owners don't really know what's going on. That would be perfect because you'd be able to tell them, because horses are beautiful animals. Horses are so loving. I mean, I'm always feeding them polar mints when I'm out walking. But I've got a fondness for horses, and my friend, she's a medium. I'm going to introduce you to her if that's okay, because I think that this would be great for that.
Yeah, I'll have
I
to
really
check
do.
into that. I've never, I'll have to look into it and see if that is something that I can do. I know I
Yeah.
have other technology and stuff that works on horses, but as far as the scan, I haven't tried that yet. But I also know a lady that also does the AO scan. And believe it or not, she told me about the fact that they had an actual printer that prints out paperwork, and it was
Wow.
acting up and having all kinds of problems. And so she ran a program in it and imprinted it on the printer, and they haven't had a problem with it since. So
that's amazing.
So again, it's frequencies, it's vibrations. And for most people, it's very hard to wrap their brain around. But the tool can do actually a whole lot more than that. You can actually have it set, and you can have somebody where if they think about smoking, they'll get like a yucky taste in their mouth, but they're not going to want to pick up a cigarette. There's all kinds of things you can actually do with this tool.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Okay.
Right.
We're definitely going to have to. I'm so interested in this. So as much as I would want to keep talking about the AO,
go ahead. You go ahead.
A lot of the experiences that you've grown through, and you've really found yourself and discovered what makes you passionate. So what would you say is one belief that you carry now that your old self would have never accepted?
I guess it's more of a personal growth thing. The fact that I am enough.
Yes.
That would probably be my biggest one. I was one of those people that was always told I was too sensitive. I needed a tougher skin, and it's kind of funny because, you have the whole night terrors things on this, my family thought it was funny to invite me to horror films because they knew I would not go. I would not go see them. The first one I considered a horror film, which I can watch all the time now, is Jaws. But when I was younger, I'd be like, nope, I'd rather go to a Disney flick. I did not want to, do that. But no, I was always more of the sensitive type. And it wasn't until the last few years here when I spoke with more intuitive people and they started saying stuff and I started hearing people, I was like, wait a minute. I was always told that. And I know I've had deja vu moments, didn't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the different ringing and stuff. So I am still in a growing and discovering phase and stage. I know there's still lots more to learn about, or I should say lots more to experience.
Yeah.
Because you can't always explain it. And I've learned that you don't need to explain it. It's just a matter of kind of being open and accepting it. So I've been told by a number of people that once I do, it's just going to go, but I haven't had that moment yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
So what would you say is the strangest experience that you've had, spiritually or paranormally?
Other than deja vu moments, the weirdest things I guess I've had is like very vivid dreams. After my husband passed, I would have one of the dreams that I used to have is that we would be sitting like at a cafe. We were overseas a lot. So we were Germany, Italy, and he loved being out in the cafes, and he always loved his coffee or whatever, or just sit and watch people. And it was like he was in uniform and we were there sitting at this table and had coffees, and the waitress like brought the receipt, but when she handed me the receipt, her hand and the receipt went right through him to me. And it really disturbed me.
Yeah.
It really disturbed me and freaked me out. But I think that was also its way of saying that he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And then I've had other ones where all of a sudden he was back. He came back. It's like they were wrong. He didn't die. He was back. But then yet I'm with my fiance and I'm trying to figure out where's my fiance at, because he's supposed to be here. And so I'll have like these very vivid, disturbing dreams, like trying to call my fiance, but can't get the number dialed.
Yeah.
And I'll wake up so disturbed sometimes. And then it's just like, then I look over, it's like, nope, he's there. Things are where they're supposed to be. And it's like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But those are probably my weirdest ones.
Yeah. Well, it's understandable after a heavy period of loss like that.
That's been almost 21 years. So like I said, if we get discussing them a lot and I wind up having like a bunch of interviews and we get down those roads a lot, sometimes they'll pop back up. Yeah. Otherwise, for the most part, they're gone, because they used to be fairly frequent. And then it got out to about once a year, maybe that I'd have it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just when the 21st pops up of almost any month. I'll just all of a sudden be kind of like over emotional and not necessarily really realize it until I realize what the date is.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
I
know, just like, Nope. When you go, Sabrina.
Oh, I was letting you.
No, I wanted to know if you go. I was actually going to ask her about any spooky experience, but you punched that one from me, showing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. So have you ever run a scan on somebody and found something so accurate that it shocked your client and you, and you were just like blown away? Like, how could that even be?
I know I have on myself, and that's when I really learned to trust what it was doing.
Gotcha.
It's not that I didn't trust it, but again, if you're not used to that and you're used to just going to the doctors and doing that, sometimes it's difficult to wrap your head around. I mean, I was amazed by how accurate it was when Dr. Grant did it on us, but when I got the tool myself, I actually got to see how it scans and it runs the frequencies. And so when I do it with people, I like to share the sound and the screen so they can actually see it working. But I am a big believer of getting rid of all toxics and toxins out of your home and out of the stuff that you use.
Yeah.
So I had went to the Hannah hair color because it's all natural. It's like having like 30 pounds of mud on your on your head, but you got to leave it on for 3 hours, which I did, and it was fine. But then as it started to grow out, I wanted a lighter color. We were coming into summer, so I tried to do Hannah again, and it wouldn't take, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, got to get rid of cover up the gray. I want, put the other color in. So I was like, all right, I hate this, but I went ahead and I got a L'Oreal preference, went back to the hair dye. And I know there's toxins in it, but I thought this has got to go.
Yeah.
So I went ahead, I dyed my hair, tried to do the eyebrows like I normally do a little bit. And I had gotten a little bit of it in my right eye where it kind of burnt a little bit. I scanned myself the next morning, boom, hair toxins, damage to the right eye. It was right there.
Wow.
It was right there on the scan. I'm like, yep, okay. So I pretty much know if I'm going through something, I already know kind of what that scan's going to show up. Like if I've had really bad news and it's hit me, I can bet my heart chakra is going to be coming up with a double red. It's going to show grief, anxiety. It's going to light up.
I think that's fascinating how that works. I just think that's absolutely fascinating how something like that can show up. It makes you wonder, what about mercury in your teeth? Because I know that it's phased out now in the United States, but he's still here in the UK. You go, I've got a lot of my fillings are mercury. It makes me wonder.
You will probably show heavy metals in your body.
That's what I'm thinking.
You can show metals, and sometimes if it shows in the reds where it's getting to be more of a toxic thing, then you got to look at a cleanse and getting rid of it, or possibly even getting those out and putting a safer one in. But yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of us had the whole silver amalgams and
Yeah.
everything else. And as you
Yeah.
get older, that stuff breaks down and it's absorbing into your body.
Yep.
Gosh, that's awful. I didn't even think of that one because
I've
that's all my
got a friend.
insurance would actually approve is those types of fillings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a friend and he's a dentist, and he actually told me, Chris, your best bit of plan here would to get them all removed and have, is it the white? What is it? It's like plastic resin now they
You can
use.
do a
It's like,
resin, or it's like a porcelain or a resin,
Yeah.
and that's what they normally do on the ones that shine in the front. But because I clenched my teeth a lot, they
Yes,
actually
yeah,
put
grind my
gold.
teeth.
I actually have gold back here, but you can't see
Yes.
it, But originally, I only had 6 or 7 when I was a kid, but I have 6 or 7 still silver amalgams originally.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
the same.
But
Yeah.
way back when, after they did that, they actually put a sealant on my teeth. So after those 6, 7 cavities, I never had another one. There was a resin, a sealant that they had put on it. So I never did get another cavity after that. But that doesn't change the fact that I already have 6, 7 in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost out of time.
I know.
So can you share a little bit about where people can find you and if they want the AO scan, how to get in touch with you?
Yeah. Well, if you go to my website, which you've got going down across the bottom at whitesandselfcare.com, you will find the AO scan. I believe it on the product. If you scroll down the main page, you'll find it. I believe it's on my product page also, but you'll see the AO voice scan. I do only charge $97 for it. Most people charge $250, but so it just goes in there. You can just schedule yourself up. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook. If you put in Laura Cross White Sands, you will find me. Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. If you put in that whole title on YouTube, you can find the TV show, or it's on E360 as well, E360 TV, and they can see your episode and others.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to make sure to put all of her information in the description. So please, guys, make sure that you check her out,
Yes.
give her a follow, and watch her show because it's awesome.
That is awesome.
Any last words anybody would like to say?
My best advice I would say for anybody is, if you got a lot of people that are questioning or saying, oh, why are you doing that? Are you getting paid at that? Just create some, nice distance in it. Just hold true to what you are and what you do. Like I said, if it lights you up, run with it.
Yeah.
Because life's too precious not to. And you will attract your tribe of people. They just may not be your tribe. Yeah. You will attract the tribe of people that will support you.
That is really great advice.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great advice, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Likewise. Well, everybody, make sure again, check out Laura, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Whispers crawl across the floor, footsteps echo, then no more. Cold hands reach where light won't stay, calling you to come and play. Dancing shadows spinning fast, fear and laughter, they will clash. Beat of terror, pulse of night, darkness sings but fear